Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. In this week's episode, I'm going to be making a Mediterranean baked vegan feta dish along with some very delicious spiced pita chips. It is going to be an easy recipe. I'm sure you will enjoy it if you try it out for yourself. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! First of all, I'm preheating the oven to 450 and I'm draining our canned chickpeas. You can save the aquafaba, which is a liquid for vegan desserts such as meringue. You're going to want to dry the chickpeas. The easiest way is to use paper towel. Just pat the chickpeas as dry as you can. They don't have to be bone dry, but mostly dry. Now in this bowl over here, I'm adding a tablespoon of olive oil to our chickpeas. Add some pepper and add some salt. And I'm going to add Italian seasoning. I'm just going to mix this up with my hands. Here we have our parchment lined baking sheet. I'm just pouring them on and spreading out our chickpeas. Now we'll pop them in the oven for 22 minutes, flipping them halfway through. I'm going to cook an entire cup of quinoa, but we probably won't use the entire amount once it is cooked and expanded. I'm adding 1.5 cups of water to this pot. If you want to go with 3/4 cups, it would be 1 cup of water. I'm preheating the stovetop to medium and adding a tablespoon of olive oil to our water and some salt. Adding our quinoa in, once it's come to a boil, we'll reduce the heat to low and cook it for 15 minutes covered. I'm zesting a lemon here. We're going to want to get a tablespoon of lemon zest. Now I'm turning the chickpeas so they cook evenly, and I'm slicing our grape tomatoes in half. I have 2 large pitas that I'm cutting up into triangles. Here is our beautiful dinosaur kale I'm chopping up. You're welcome to use another leafy green of your choice and destem it if you wish. And we're going to get juice out of this fresh lemon. We'll use about 2 tablespoons. Our chickpeas are nice and brown now. And our quinoa is also ready. Here's our vegan feta. I'm using the Farm Boy brand. So we'll see how this turns out. Pat it dry. Now I'm just going to make equal slices of our vegan feta here. And I'm microplaning 2 cloves of garlic. Popping our pita wedges into this bowl, I'm adding 1 teaspoon plus 1/4 teaspoon of our Dukkah spice blend. This spice blend does contain nuts, so keep that in mind. Add salt to your taste. And I'm adding on 1 tablespoon of olive oil. You're going to want to make sure everything's evenly coated. So I'm just going to use my hands and massage the oil and spices onto all sides of these pita wedges. Now we're laying them down on a parchment lined baking sheet. Try not to overlap them. Now in this little baking pan with some parchment, I'm sprinkling on some paprika onto our vegan feta just for a little bit of extra flavor. And we're going to want to coat these evenly with some olive oil. Try not to overdo it. Turn them around and make sure they're coated on all sides. And we're popping in our pita wedges and our vegan feta into the oven for 6 to 8 minutes. Here we have our lemon juice. We're adding 2 teaspoons of Dijon to it. Stir it up. Adding the microplaned garlic. I'm adding about a teaspoon of our vegan honey, our Be Mindful honey. A little bit of salt to taste and some freshly ground black pepper. Give it a nice stir. Now in the same bowl we used to coat our pita chips, I'm pouring in our roasted chickpeas, the quinoa, reserving some. We want it to be proportionate. So I'll use the rest of the quinoa for another day. Adding in the Dinosaur Kale here. And I'm adding in our lemon zest. Now it's time to add in our grape tomatoes. And I'm pouring in our dressing. Make sure it's mixed in evenly. Now it's time to plate everything and hopefully not make a mess. I'm adding our pita chips, which are nicely spiced and crispy. I'm topping our dish with some Kalamata olives. I'm topping our dish with our baked vegan feta. It did turn out a little bit more melty than I wanted it to, so keep it in mind for this particular brand. And finish it off with some lemon wedges. If the vegan feta used turned out a little bit melty, you're welcome to wait a little bit and it will firm up before you plate it. It's that time again, everyone. I get to try it. Okay, it's time to dig in and see how it turned out. The vegan feta does have a little bit of firmness to it, although it didn't turn out how I planned. Simply beautiful flavor combinations. One more bite here before I serve shimmy. Wonderful. It's absolutely delicious. Let me know in the comments below if you end up trying this recipe. Feel free to share your thoughts, your feelings. If you have any questions, pop them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So there you have it, another recipe to add to your recipe booklets. Feel free to tune in every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern. There's gonna be a new video every Monday. I'm keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit.